All right. Well, I was getting excited because I knew I was coming to the end of this thing. It only does 30-minute segments. I don't know why, but all right. So that's one of the reasons I'm getting excited. The other reasons is I'm watching our whole nation fall to pieces, come crashing down. It's all crashing down just because of the few. And the few that are bringing this whole nation down into destruction are all on the public dole. They all suck off our tit. It's the servants running the house, not the Lord. And we're the Lord of this house. All of us, everyone from this land. We're more like the child king. Before, like, say a child becomes king because his father died or whatever, but he's too young really because he doesn't have life experience and doesn't know enough about running the nation or whatever. So what he has is he has servants that have been around for a while that served his father and maybe his grandfather, and so they steer him the right way. They do their best to steer him the right way, and so he basically is there as the symbol that there is a sovereign nation still, and we haven't grown up yet and identified ourselves and shown that no, hey, man is here, mankind is here. Yes, we are man enough to run this place in a proper fashion, and we need you guys, you public servants, to just put the brakes on a bit. Like, these guys got to put the brakes on a bit. You're creating bad laws that are causing harm to people, causing loss to folks, right? They're willy-nilly coming in, to their corporate subjects and taking from folks, and it's crazy. It's way out of hand. And if we don't act, and the best way I believe that we can act is this. Now, I wrote this, and not just thinking of my own grandkids. But I was just working on that old house with my brother's son-in-law, and he's starting a young family, or has started a young family, and I look at his kids, and I like, oh my God, what kind of future are they going to have? Like, really, what's going to happen? So, so one of the reasons I did wish to put up this letter, an example of this letter, was, to give folks like him a clue on how to start to stand. And yes, you're going to get the pressure back. Yes, you will be passed through the fire. But you're either going to come out like a burnt fucking offering, or you're going to come out as refined, pure gold. So this is why I believe, this is my belief, I believe those ones in the black robes will put the heat on a man or a woman who does stand at a court within a public building, is because are you just shitting me, or are you my fellow man? Right? And like I say, these folks in the black robes, like, if we don't have access to a court, what's going to happen is it's going to go back to the street. Then we're going to end up with chaos. And with all the bad laws and the terrible education that's going on, and with all the plaintiffs running around, in these societies that believe that they have, more of a right than anyone else, and these kangaroo pseudo courts like it's causing, it's like we're all being pushed. So before I got cut off, I was talking about, okay, let's tax the air we breathe. Let's disarm the public, right? Let's get rid of free speech, and let's shut them down from being mobile. Let's shut them down so that it not anyone can go from point A to point B anymore. And if you guys don't see this, maybe I'm the fucking tard. If I'm the only one that sees this shit. This is not what everyone who carved this nation, and I'm talking about our native cousins as well. I'm talking about everyone. You know, for the last 400 years, carved this nation that we were aspiring to the freedom. Okay, that we were aspiring to freedom and responsibility and respect for one another. Is all now just being ripped to shit. We never even got there yet. We were just starting to get there, and now it's all just being brought down. And now you know, all the little plaintiffs are running around fucking pointing their fingers at each other or at anyone who wishes to stand. You know, it's like that whack-a-mole. You remember whack-a-mole at the circus or whatever? You know, go, you stick up your head and whack. Fucking yeah, like that's and so like everybody's getting scared to except for a couple of grandmothers from I don't know if the escalator lady was a grandmother, but you know, a couple of women of Quebec. They have the balls to stand. And why the fuck is it taking, you know, 4 to 6 years for that woman to get through court? Where's the court of record? Hey, I got my claim. Boom, file the claim. Send out the summons. There we go. Boom. Trial by jury. Boom. 12 of my peers. 12 of their peers. All right. Boom. Was it in the mandate? Is it in your mandate? To unnecessarily detain me and ticket me and threaten me and handcuff me or whatever it is you wish to do to me, harass and torment me in my regular business of going from point A to point B on public transportation, which I have a fucking right. Well, no, of course not. Well, let the jury decide. Jury comes back. Hey, not only do I wish to be paid for, and I'm going to show you guys how to start writing bills. Okay? But not only is it my wish to be paid for, but I also wish that, you know, for any punitive damages that the court does wish to grant. And let's hope that they're big enough that this man and this corporate body never ever do this to another woman again. That's the way it's supposed to run, guys. 20 grand. 6 years of her fucking life. 20 grand. Does that even buy you a shitty little car these days? 20 grand. Anyways, this is just an example. You know, and so like your lawful excuses in here. I believe, you know, I wish and believe. I didn't use the word require. I could have said, you know, I wish and require of you, you know, I wish and require. Yeah, that doesn't fit in that line. But I could have put the word require. Because if you're being paid for by the public servants, or by the public, you're acting as my public servant, then I do have a right to require certain things of you that do fall in the mandate, you know. Like, is a teacher not supposed to teach? Exactly. So I could have put the word require in here somewhere, I'm sure, but you know, maybe down around my lawful excuse, not to interfere with my religion, or the way of or customs of my people. We always say the way of our people, but it's just our own thing. Oh, and something else I wanted to bring up. Let's see up here, it says principle versus principle. Okay, so principal is a noun and an adjective, whereas principle isn't. Okay, it's singular. So just to let you know the difference between that. Well, I think that's all I have. I think that's all my righteous indignation puked out on YouTube. So maybe next time I'll do a notice. And here's the thing too. Ending off your letter. Well, maybe that's what I'll do next. Is I'll end off the letter. You know, like you know. Because what the establishment does to everyone, every one of us, is they always give us that agreement by acquiescence, right? You know, so like, hey man, you got 7 days to get back to me. If you don't, then obviously, you know, we have agreement of the parties. And that way you're giving them, like, first off, we're giving them fair warning. And secondly, it's our wish. And only a man can wish. All right? So, and only man can believe. So I wish and I believe, and so if you believe my belief is wrong, if you say there's a law that outlaws a man's right to choose which subjects that I wish my property be schooled in, then you just send me that law, you know. So there is a proper way to end this so that there is an agreement of parties if they don't get back to you. And then if they don't get back to you, and this is like basic for pretty much writing any public servant, okay? Any corporation, any man or woman who acts within a corporation or the public. And so that's the other thing is, you know, if they don't answer you, so 7 days pretty much turns into 21 days, okay? You got to allow for regular post and so on and so forth. So if I ask, you know, hey, you know, get back to me in, you know, I require you to get back to me in 7 days if, you know, there's a law that outlaws a man's right to you know, to dictate his property, or whatever the case, then I give him 21 days for the 7. And if no one gets back to me, then I'll send him another letter saying, hey, you know, Bob, I didn't hear from you, so I hope you're well. I hope you got the letter, but just in case you didn't, here's another copy of the letter, okay? I'll show you how to make all your letters original, even though it's the same letter. Like what we would call a copy, you can make them all original, every one of them. But you know, hey Bob, you know, I didn't get her, what do I call him? Oh, public Bob servant, yeah. So, you know, hey public, you know, greetings, I didn't get a response from you, so just in case you did not receive my letter, here's another copy. If you don't get back to me, obviously, you know, we have an agreement of the parties, and you know, thank you for your service, you know, or kind regards is good, but yeah. All right, well, I think that's about all I wanted to spout off today. Cheers.